Hello! I decided to challenge myself by drawing a furry. Luckily for me, my best friend and partner in crime has a fursona and sent me a bunch of photos of him facing forwards and backwards, etc, etc, you know, like all the different positions for referencing. When I started the sketch, I was genuinely struggling so much, like how am I going to draw him? And what positions should I draw him in? Should I even do full body? Should I do the head? Should I only do the torso and up? Like, what was the plan? And if so, what reference was I going to use? So I frantically scrolled through Pinterest to find a reference. I ended up going, fuck it, I'll wing it and hope for the best. He looks like a fucking chipmunk. So I took a break from drawing, helped my boyfriend with dinner in the kitchen, and came back to it, deciding I will make it easier for me, since it was my first time, to make a headshot drawing instead, because it's easier that way and at least I can focus on my main issue, the fucking head. I was on call with my bestie at the time, and he was very kind enough to load up his avatar on a 3D software just so I could see how his fur worked, his eyes up close, and it does actually make shading easier when you have the exact reference you needed right in front of you. Honestly, maybe I should learn Blender and Maya's, because damn. So with the outline finalized and approved, I took a step back and had a full look at it to see if I needed to add anything. I did some placement shading, which is just me experimenting what type of shading I should do. Depending on what type of shading, it could look quite realistic, or it could look quite cartoonish, or quite anime. It really just depended on what was the best fit. I decided to go with a cartoon style shade in the end, which led us to move to the coloring stage. There was a lot of difficulty when I started doing the colors because I wasn't paying attention, close enough attention, turns out. My friend had to point out that his avatar had patterns on top of his head that I needed to include. This makes sense why the drawing felt really flat originally, and I thought it was just because there was no shading. So after figuring all that, I drew in the patterns, added the cute little yellow tips on his ears, got to work making him the fluffiest, cutest cat ever. There was a few times my friend had to correct me on colors for the fur, like the inside of the ears for example. I originally used white, but turns out it was the same color as the light grayish blue that was used on his face, so you know. The eyes were my favorite part of this drawing because I wanted to stay true to what my best friend is like. He is such a kind-hearted soul with a bubbling personality. I wanted to be able to portray that through his eyes because that's how cats express their emotions. He is also very creative and has helped me out in making music for my streams a lot of the time, and I'm very grateful to have met such a wonderful person. So if you're watching this, I love you, mate. Mwah. So what did I learn from this drawing? I learned that with or without fur, I need to establish what the headspace is going to be to make it easier and better to map out where the shading would be and making it somewhat sense, even though it's a fictional character. Although animals are hard for me, I should still learn what different sizes and shapes apply to different animals. Me trying to draw the same characters and ended up drawing a chipmunk first was just, I don't even want to talk about it. Like, then eventually making that look like an actual cat after examining my own cat features, like honestly. By the way, the problem with the fur looks like puffy cheeks, if you ever wanted to know. And what else? I'm hella good at drawing fluffy things. Look at him, so fluffy.